The Flying Adventures of Captain Jack. Early one sunny morning, Captain Jack stretched his tiny wings and looked up at the big blue sky. Today was a perfect day for flying. With a cheerful chirp, he flapped his red feathers and soared above the tall trees. As he flew higher, he saw fluffy clouds shaped like castles and ships sailing across the sky. Captain Jack smiled and thought, "What magical places shall I find today?" Excited, he set off on his very first flying adventure beyond the forest. As Captain Jack glided through the air, he met a friendly owl perched on a branch. "Hello, Captain Jack. Where are you off to today?" asked the owl with a wise smile. "I'm exploring the sky to find magical places," Jack chirped. The owl nodded and said, "Look closely, and you might see more than just clouds." Just then, a playful squirrel jumped up and down on a tree below, waving a tiny acorn. Captain Jack laughed and swooped down to say hello, feeling happy to find new friends on his adventure. Suddenly, Captain Jack spotted a sparkling rainbow stretching across the sky. "Wow!" he chirped excitedly. He flew through the colors, feeling the magic swirl all around him. At the end of the rainbow, he discovered a group of butterflies dancing on the breeze. They invited Jack to join their dance, fluttering and twirling in the warm sunlight. Together, they soared higher and higher, laughing and playing until the stars began to twinkle in the darkening sky. Captain Jack knew this was the best adventure ever, full of magic, friendship, and joy. The Friendly Cardinal's Crest. In a sunny forest, there lived a little red cardinal named Ruby. Ruby wasn't just any bird. On top of her head was a special crest that sparkled with a soft golden light. Every time Ruby helped a friend or shared a smile, her crest would glow even brighter. One morning, Ruby woke up feeling extra happy. She fluttered her wings and sang a sweet song, ready for a new day of adventures and kindness. As Ruby flew through the forest, she saw her friend Sammy the squirrel trying to reach a tasty acorn on a high branch. Ruby chirped, "I can help." She flapped her wings and gently nudged the acorn down. Sammy smiled and thanked Ruby, and right away, Ruby's crest sparkled a little brighter. Helping friends made her feel warm inside, and she loved seeing smiles all around. Next, Ruby spotted Bella the bunny hopping sadly near the bushes. Bella had lost her way back home. Ruby fluttered down beside her and said softly, "Don't worry, I'll help you find your way." Together, they walked through the forest, Ruby's crest glowing warmly as they followed the sunbeams. Soon, Bella saw her cozy burrow and hopped inside happily. Ruby's heart felt full of joy. Finally, Ruby came across Timmy, the tiny turtle who was stuck on a little hill. Timmy wanted to join the others but couldn't climb down. Ruby thought hard and then had a great idea. She asked her friend Sammy to help. Together, they made a soft leaf ramp for Timmy, who carefully slid down with a happy smile. Ruby's crest shone the brightest yet, because helping friends was the greatest magic of all. As the sun began to set, Ruby sat on her favorite tree branch, her golden crest glowing softly in the twilight. She looked around at her friends, Sammy, Bella, and Timmy, all happy and safe. Ruby knew that her special crest wasn't just magic, it was the kindness and friendship she shared every day. And with a happy chirp, she promised to keep spreading joy wherever she flew. The busy Beaver's dam. Early one sunny morning, Benny the Beaver woke up with a big smile. Today was the perfect day to build his new dam. He splashed into the sparkling river and started gathering sticks and logs. As Benny worked, he hummed a happy tune, tapping his big flat tail on the water. The forest around him was alive with chirping birds and buzzing bees, all curious to see what Benny would build next. Soon, Benny's friend Lily the frog hopped over. "Can I help?" she croaked excitedly. Benny nodded, smiling wide. Lily found soft mud to hold the sticks together, and Benny carefully placed each log in the water. Just then, Sammy the squirrel scampered down from a tree, carrying shiny acorns. "These can be decorations," he chirped. Together, they made the dam stronger and even prettier. As the dam grew taller, a bluebird named Bella flew down. "Let me help with the finishing touches," she sang. Bella gathered soft leaves and feathers, placing them gently around the dam. The animals all worked together, laughing and sharing ideas. When the dam was done, it was strong, cozy, and took colors from the forest itself. Benny felt proud and happy to have such wonderful friends. The delicious day of Diego and Diana. Once upon a time, in a land where candy trees grew and chocolate rivers flowed, lived two siblings named Diego and Diana. They woke up one sunny morning, their tummies rumbling with excitement. "Today is a delicious day," shouted Diego, and Diana danced around the room, clapping her hands. They decided to explore their magical world, where every step was a new adventure filled with yummy treats. As they ventured outside, they discovered candy clouds floating in the sky. "Can we jump on them?" Diana asked with wide eyes. They bounced on the candy clouds, giggling as they leaped from one fluffy treat to another. With each jump, they soared higher and higher, tasting the sweet, sugary fluff. "This is the best day ever," Diego exclaimed, his face covered in sticky sweetness. Next, they stumbled upon a chocolate river. "Look," Diana pointed excitedly. They dipped their fingers into the river and tasted the rich chocolate. It's so good." Together, they made chocolate boats out of leaves and floated them down the river, laughing as they raced them against each other. They shared their chocolate treasures and promised to always share their treats. As the sun began to set, they found a giant cupcake hill. They climbed to the top and spotted a rainbow of candies waiting below. Diego and Diana shared the candies with their friends, who joined them for a sweet picnic under the candy trees. They laughed, played, and enjoyed the delicious treats together, knowing that the best part of the day was sharing it with friends. The sweet surprises of Sally and Sam. One sunny morning, Sally and Sam, two playful squirrels, found a hidden door beneath a big oak tree. With a little push, the door creaked open, revealing a magical garden filled with colorful flowers that smelled like candy. Sally's eyes sparkled as she reached out to touch a bright pink flower that tasted like strawberry lollipops. Sam giggled as he nibbled on a blue flower that tasted like blueberry cupcakes. They couldn't believe their sweet surprise. As they wandered deeper, Sally and Sam discovered a sparkling stream where the water tasted like fizzy lemonade. They drank happily, feeling the bubbles tickle their noses. Around the stream, candy cane trees stood tall, their red and white stripes shining in the sunlight. Sally picked a candy cane and twirled it in her paws, while Sam found a chocolate rock to nibble on. Every step brought a new sweet surprise that made their adventure even more magical. Suddenly, a gentle breeze blew petals from a giant cupcake flower, and they floated down like soft, sweet snowflakes. Sally caught a petal and shared it with Sam. They laughed as the petals melted like tiny drops of honey in their mouths. Feeling full of happiness, they sat under a rainbow tree that shimmered with every color. Sally whispered, "The sweetest surprise isn't just the candy, but sharing it with a friend." Sam nodded, his eyes twinkling with joy. Together, they knew the magic was in their friendship. The Quick Foot of Quinn. Once upon a time in a sunny forest, there lived a little rabbit named Quinn. Quinn was no ordinary rabbit. She had the quickest feet in the whole woodland. Every morning, she would hop and zoom through the trees, her fluffy tail bouncing behind her. All the animals loved to watch her race, and they cheered, "Go, Quinn, go." One sunny day, Quinn's friend Leela, the squirrel, called out to her, "Quinn, can you help me? I need to gather acorns before the rain comes." Without a second thought, Quinn said, "Of course, Leela, let's go." Together, they dashed through the trees, collecting acorns as fast as they could. Quinn's quick feet made it easy, and soon they had a big pile. But just then, Sammy the turtle poked his head out and said, "Oh no, I lost my way home, I'm too slow." Quinn's ears perked up. "Don't worry, Sammy, I'll race ahead and find the way for you." With a big smile, Quinn dashed off, her feet a blur as she hopped through the forest, calling out, "Follow my voice, Sammy." After a quick search, Quinn spotted Sammy's home. She raced back, her heart full of joy. "I found it, Sammy, just over this hill." Sammy smiled wide. "Thank you, Quinn, your quick feet saved the day." They walked home together, and as they reached the turtle's cozy shell, all their friends cheered, "Hooray for Quinn." From that day on, Quinn wasn't just known for her speed. She was the brave little rabbit who used her quick feet to help her friends. And whenever anyone cried for help, they knew who to call: the Quick Foot of Quinn. The Symphony of Sharing. In a bright green forest, 5 animal friends loved to play music. Rabbit tapped his drum with a happy beat, Owl blew soft notes on his flute, Squirrel shook her maracas with a joyful rattle, Deer gently bowed her violin strings, and Bird sang sweet tunes through his shiny trumpet. But sometimes, they all played their music separately, and the forest felt quiet instead of lively. One day, Rabbit had a bright idea. "Why don't we play our music together?" he said with a big smile. Owl nodded and said, "Yes, when we share our sounds, it might sound even better." Squirrel clapped her paws excitedly. Deer and Bird agreed too, ready to join the new musical adventure. They started to play together. Rabbit's drum beat the rhythm, Owl's flute added soft tunes, Squirrel's maracas filled the air with jingles, Deer's violin sang sweet melodies, and Bird's trumpet brightened the song. The sounds mixed and swirled like magic, creating a beautiful symphony that made the whole forest dance and smile. After the music stopped, the friends looked at each other, feeling happy and proud. "Sharing our music made it more beautiful," said Deer softly. "And sharing makes everything better," added Bird with a bright chirp. From that day on, the friends played their symphony every afternoon, filling the forest with sounds of friendship and joy. The little emu's Waddle. In the wide, sunny outback, little Eddie the emu was learning to waddle. His tiny feet tapped gently on the red earth as he tried to keep up with his big brothers and sisters. "Waddle, waddle," he giggled, but his steps were a bit wobbly and funny. Eddie wondered if his waddle was special or just a little clumsy. As he moved, the leaves rustled and the birds sang a happy tune just for him. Eddie's friend, Kiki the kangaroo, hopped over with a big smile. "Come join me," she called. Eddie waddled after her as she bounced high and low. "Look," Kiki said, "your waddle is like a dance. It's fun and full of jumps and twirls." Eddie laughed and tried to bounce with Kiki, feeling the joy of moving in his own way. Suddenly, his waddle didn't seem clumsy. It was special and lively. Next, Ollie the cockatoo flew down and flapped his bright white wings. "Eddie, your waddle is like a little adventure," he chirped. "Every step you take is a story waiting to happen." Eddie's eyes sparkled as he imagined all the places his waddle could take him, through soft sand, past tall trees, and over sparkling streams. "Let's explore together," Ollie said, soaring above with a happy whistle. Just then, Dingo Dan padded up with a friendly grin. "Your waddle is strong and steady," he said. "It's perfect for exploring the outback with friends." Eddie felt proud and strong. Together, they all waddled, hopped, and fluttered through the sunlit land. Eddie's special waddle was not just his own, it was part of a wonderful adventure with friends by his side. And every step was a happy step. The Christmas Carol of Charlie and Chloe. One chilly December evening, Charlie and Chloe found a curious little book under the Christmas tree. It wasn't an ordinary book. It sparkled with tiny stars and hummed softly when they touched it. As they opened it, they heard a gentle melody, the very first notes of a magical Christmas carol. Suddenly, the snowflakes outside began to twirl and dance, and the Christmas lights on the house flickered to life with bright, joyful colors. Excited, they sang the carol together, and to their surprise, the snowmen in the yard began to wiggle their carrot noses and sing along. The candy canes on the porch started to twirl like ballerinas, and the stars on the tree shimmered brighter than ever. Charlie and Chloe laughed as the magic filled the air, making their whole world twinkle with holiday cheer. As the carol reached its happiest part, a gentle snowflake floated down and landed softly on Chloe's nose. It sparkled and grew until it became a tiny, shimmering fairy. She smiled and said, "Thank you for singing the Christmas carol. Because of you, the magic of the season will shine bright all night." Then, with a sprinkle of fairy dust, the whole neighborhood glowed warmly, wrapped in a cozy blanket of holiday magic. Charlie and Chloe hugged each other with big smiles, feeling the true spirit of Christmas glowing inside their hearts. They knew this was a Christmas they would always remember, a carol that brought their world to life with laughter, music, and magic. And from that night on, whenever they sang the special carol, the magic would return, filling every Christmas with wonder and joy. The Happy Harrier's Glide. Once upon a time, high above the tallest trees, there lived a happy harrier hawk named Harry. He loved to glide through the air, spreading his wings wide and feeling the soft breeze beneath him. Every morning, Harry would fly up to the sun, and he would feel like the happiest bird in the whole wide world. But sometimes, he would look down at his friends on the ground and wonder what they were doing. I wish I could share my gliding with them, he thought, peering down at the colorful forest below. One sunny day, Harry had an idea. I will invite my friends for a glide, he chirped excitedly. He zipped down to the forest floor where Benny the bunny was hopping around. Benny, do you want to join me for a gliding adventure? Asked Harry. Benny's eyes sparkled with joy. Oh, yes, I would love to, he exclaimed. Soon, they found Leela the ladybug and Ollie the owl, who were both thrilled to join Harry in the sky. Harry taught his friends how to spread their wings. With a gentle swoosh, he soared up into the sky, and Benny hopped along the hilltop, trying to jump high. You can do it, Benny, cheered Leela, fluttering her tiny wings. Finally, with a big leap, Benny soared into the air, gliding alongside Harry. Ollie flapped his wings and joined in too. They all laughed and shrieked with joy as they glided over the treetops, feeling the wind tickle their feathers. As they glided, they saw all the wonders of the forest from above. They spotted sparkling rivers, colorful flowers, and even a family of deer playing in the meadow. Look how beautiful everything is, Harry exclaimed. The friends laughed and played in the sky, sharing their happiness and friendship. They realized that gliding was even better when they were together. Finally, as the sun began to set, painting the sky in shades of orange and pink, Harry and his friends landed softly on a hilltop. Thank you for the best adventure ever, said Benny, his eyes twinkling. Gliding is so much more fun with friends. Harry smiled, feeling warm inside. From that day on, the happy Harrier and his friends glided together every chance they got, sharing laughter and adventures under the bright blue sky. The Angry Little Ant. One sunny morning, Andy the little ant woke up feeling very grumpy. His tiny home, the anthill, was messy with leaves and crumbs everywhere. Oh no, Andy shouted, stomping his feet. Why is no one helping to clean? His antennae twitched with frustration as he looked around. The other ants were busy carrying food or playing, but not a single one was tidying up. Andy's anger grew bigger and bigger like a storm inside him. Andy decided to clean all by himself. He started picking up leaves and crumbs, but they kept falling down. This is so hard, he grumbled. Just then, his friend Bella the butterfly fluttered by. Why are you so angry, Andy? Bella asked with a gentle smile. I want everything to be perfect, Andy replied. Bella had a bright idea. Why don't you ask your friends to help? Cleaning is easier and more fun together, she said, flapping her colorful wings. Andy thought about Bella's words and decided to try. He called out, "Friends, let's clean the anthill together." One by one, the ants stopped what they were doing and joined him. They sang a happy cleaning song as they worked side by side. Andy felt his anger melt away and a big smile spread across his face. Soon, the anthill was sparkling clean and everyone was laughing and dancing. Andy learned that sharing work with friends made everything better and more fun. The Halloween Howl of Hailey and Hunter. On a crisp Halloween night, Hailey and Hunter, two curious puppies, looked up at the big, bright moon. It wasn't just any moon. It sparkled with a magical glow that made their tails wag faster. "Let's howl together, Hunter," Hailey barked excitedly. When they howled, their voices mixed with the magic of the moon, sounding louder and happier than ever before. The gentle night air carried their joyful howls across the neighborhood, making the stars twinkle like they were dancing along. As Hailey and Hunter trotted through the neighborhood, their magical howls brought smiles to everyone they met. A group of little ghosts giggled and joined in, swirling their white sheets in the air. Friendly witches waved their wands, sending tiny sparkles floating around. Even the shy black cat peeked out from behind a pumpkin, purring happily. The puppies felt their hearts fill with joy, knowing their howls were spreading Halloween cheer everywhere. Suddenly, Hailey and Hunter heard a tiny howl coming from a shadowy corner. They followed the sound and found a little lost puppy shivering near a big orange pumpkin. "Don't worry, we'll help you," said Hunter softly. Hailey gave the lost puppy a gentle nuzzle. Together, the three puppies howled a happy Halloween tune, and the magical moonlight wrapped them in a warm, glowing hug. The lost puppy wagged its tail, feeling safe and loved. With their new friend by their side, Hailey and Hunter continued their Halloween adventure. They visited every house, sharing their magical howls and making new friends along the way. By the end of the night, the whole neighborhood was filled with laughter, happy howls, and twinkling magic. As the moon began to set, the puppies curled up together, tired but full of joy. "What a perfect Halloween," whispered Hailey. "And the best howl ever," added Hunter with a sleepy smile. The Throwing Trio of Timmy and Tina. Once upon a time in a sunny backyard, there were two siblings named Timmy and Tina. They loved to play together, and their favorite game was throwing things. One bright morning, Timmy said, "Let's see who can throw the ball the farthest." Tina giggled and replied, "I can throw my frisbee even further." With that, they grabbed their toys, ready to have a fun-filled day of throwing. Timmy threw the ball high into the air. It soared like a bird, and they both cheered. "Wow, that was amazing," Tina exclaimed. Then it was her turn. She tossed the frisbee, and it twirled gracefully through the air. Toby the dog barked excitedly and chased after it, wagging his tail like a happy flag. "Go, Toby," they shouted, clapping their hands. They took turns throwing different things: a soft plush toy, a colorful kite, and even some leaves. Each time they cheered for one another. "Your throw was the best," Timmy said. "No, yours was," giggled Tina. They learned that it wasn't about who threw the farthest, it was about having fun together. With each throw, their laughter filled the air. As the sun began to set, painting the sky with pink and orange, Timmy and Tina sat down on the grass, tired but happy. Toby curled up beside them, wagging his tail gently. "Today was the best day ever," Tina said. Timmy nodded. "Yes, let's do this again tomorrow." And with that, they all smiled, dreaming of more throwing adventures to come. The little turkeys gobble. In a sunny meadow, little Tilly the turkey looked up at the big turkeys gobbling loudly. "I want to gobble just like them," she chirped excitedly. But when she tried, her gobble came out soft and tiny. Tilly felt a little sad, but she decided to ask her friends for help. Maybe, she thought, they could teach her how to gobble big and strong. First, Tilly met Ollie the owl, who blinked his big round eyes and said, "Gobbling is about feeling happy inside. Try to think of your favorite thing." Tilly closed her eyes and thought about crunchy autumn leaves. She tried again, but her gobble was still small and soft. Ollie smiled gently and said, "That's a wonderful start. Keep trying, little one." Next, Tilly found Sammy the squirrel, who was busy gathering acorns. "You need to practice with fun," Sammy chattered. They played a game of jump and chase, and Tilly tried to gobble while running and laughing. Her gobble grew louder, but it still wasn't as big as the big turkeys. Sammy clapped his tiny paws and said, "Almost there. Keep playing and practicing." Finally, Tilly met Ruby the rabbit, who twitched her nose kindly. "Sometimes your own special sound is the best," Ruby said softly. Tilly thought about it and tried one more time, but this time she gobbled her very own gentle, sweet gobble. It wasn't loud like the big turkeys, but it made her friends smile big and clap happily. Tilly felt proud of her unique gobble. From that day on, Tilly knew that her little gobble was special in its own way. She didn't need to be loud to be heard. Her friends loved her gentle gobble, and Tilly loved being herself. And every time she gobbled, she felt happy and proud, sharing her unique song with the whole meadow. The Halloween Adventure of Harry and Hannah. One chilly Halloween night, Harry the pirate and Hannah the fairy were ready for adventure. They put on their costumes, grabbed their candy bags, and stepped outside. "Look at all the spooky decorations," said Harry, pointing to the cobwebs and glowing skeletons. "This is going to be the best Halloween ever." They giggled as they walked through the neighborhood, where every house had a different surprise waiting for them. As they went from house to house, they met friendly ghosts who floated down from the trees. "Boo!" they said, but instead of being scary, they laughed and danced around Harry and Hannah. "Join us for a ghostly jig," the ghosts exclaimed. Harry and Hannah twirled and wiggled, their laughter echoing under the moonlight. It was a Halloween party like no other. After their dance, the ghosts led them to a garden full of giggling pumpkins. Each pumpkin had a happy face and was bouncing up and down. "Come play with us," they cheered. Harry and Hannah jumped in joy and played hide and seek among the pumpkins, their laughter ringing through the air. This Halloween was turning into a magical adventure. Finally, it was time to go home. Harry and Hannah waved goodbye to their new ghostly friends and the giggling pumpkins. "This was the best Halloween ever," they said, their candy bags full of treats. As they walked home under the twinkling stars, they couldn't wait to share their adventure with everyone. They knew Halloween was all about fun, friends, and a sprinkle of magic. The Happy Bullock's Oriole's Song. In a bright and sunny meadow, Ollie the Bullock's Oriole woke up with a big smile. His feathers shimmered orange like the glowing sun, and he was ready to sing his special happy song. Ollie's song wasn't just any song, it was a melody that made everyone around feel cheerful and full of joy. As he stretched his wings and looked around, the birds, bunnies, and squirrels all stopped to listen, their faces lighting up with happiness. One little squirrel named Sammy was feeling very shy and quiet that morning. He had lost his usual smile and sat alone beneath a tall oak tree, watching the others play. When Ollie noticed Sammy, he fluttered down and sang his happiest tune just for him. The sweet notes danced in the air like tiny sparkles, and slowly, Sammy's cheeks lifted into a small grin. The music made him feel brave and warm inside, like a big hug from a friend. Encouraged by Ollie's song, Sammy scampered out to join the fun. All the animals gathered together, and Ollie sang louder and brighter than ever. The meadow filled with laughter, clapping paws, and happy chirps. Even the shyest creatures found their smiles again, thanks to the magical happy song. Ollie's music made the day sparkle with joy, showing everyone that a little song and a friendly heart could brighten the whole world. Emma and Olivia's Big Hug. On a sunny morning, Emma and Olivia met at the park, ready for a day of fun. Emma had a big smile and twirled in her yellow dress, while Olivia bounced a little red ball with excitement. They loved playing together, but today, Emma had a special idea. "Let's try something magical," she said, opening her arms wide. Olivia giggled and took a step closer. "A big hug, that's magic for your heart," Emma cheered. So they wrapped their arms around each other, feeling warm and happy inside, like sunshine filling their hearts. As they hugged, something wonderful happened. The flowers nearby seemed to bloom brighter, and a tiny butterfly fluttered close to them, as if joining in their happiness. Emma and Olivia laughed, feeling the hug's magic sparkle all around. "Hugs make everything better," Olivia said, spinning around with joy. They decided to share their big hug magic with everyone at the park. They ran to their friends, inviting them all to join in the warm, happy feeling that only a big hug can bring. Soon, all the children were hugging each other, sharing giggles and smiles. Even the puppy wagged its tail excitedly, joining the fun by giving little puppy hugs with its paws. Emma and Olivia felt proud because their big hug had made the park a place full of happiness and warmth. As the sun began to set, painting the sky with pink and orange, they gave one last big hug, promising to always share their special magic. And from that day on, whenever anyone felt sad or lonely, Emma and Olivia's big hug was there to brighten the world. The friendly eagles soar. High above the tall, green trees, Eddie the eagle loved to soar through the bright blue sky. His big wings spread wide as he glided with the warm breeze. Eddie wasn't just strong and fast, he was the friendliest eagle in the whole forest. Every day, he flew down to say hello to the animals below, sharing smiles and happy chirps. The forest was a place full of laughter and friendship, and Eddie loved being part of it all. One sunny morning, Eddie spotted a little white bunny hopping nervously near a big oak tree. The bunny's nose twitched as he looked all around, clearly lost. Eddie swooped down gently and asked, "Hello, little one. Are you okay?" The bunny's eyes brightened. "I'm lost and can't find my home," he said softly. Eddie flapped his wings with a smile. "Don't worry, I'll help you find your way." Together, they began their adventure through the forest. As they traveled, Eddie and the bunny met playful squirrels darting between branches and a cheerful bluebird singing a happy tune. "Follow us," the squirrels chattered, leading the way through twisting tree paths. The bluebird flew overhead, singing songs that made the journey feel like a fun game. Eddie's kind heart and the new friends they met made the bunny feel safe and happy, even when the forest seemed big and confusing. Finally, Eddie spotted a cozy burrow nestled beside a gentle stream. "This must be your home," he said with a happy flap of his wings. The bunny's face lit up with joy as he hopped quickly toward the burrow, where his family waited with open arms. Eddie felt proud and happy to have helped his new friend. As the sun began to set, Eddie soared high into the sky once more, knowing that kindness and friendship made every flight even more special. The Happy Chipping Sparrow's Call. In a sunny meadow filled with blooming flowers, there lived a little bird named Sammy. Sammy was a chipping sparrow, and he loved to sing. Every morning, he perched on a branch and chirped a happy tune that danced through the air. His friends, the bunny, the squirrel, and the deer, would stop what they were doing to listen. Sammy's sweet song made the flowers sway and the sun shine even brighter. "Sing again, Sammy," they would call out, their hearts filled with joy. One day, Sammy decided to sing an even happier song. "Today, I will sing about our fun times together," he chirped excitedly. The bunny bounced, the squirrel clapped his tiny paws, and the deer swayed side to side. They all knew this would be a special song. As Sammy sang, the meadow seemed to come alive. Butterflies fluttered and bees buzzed, dancing along to the rhythm of his joyful melody. Suddenly, something magical happened. As Sammy hit a high note, a rainbow appeared in the sky. All the animals gasped in wonder. "Look at the colors," exclaimed the bunny. Sammy smiled, his heart swelling with happiness. "It's our friendship that created this rainbow," he chirped. Together, they danced and sang under the colorful arch, feeling the warmth of their friendship shining brighter than the sun. From that day on, whenever Sammy sang, the rainbow would come to visit. The animals knew that his happy call was a special gift that brought them together. And so, in the sunny meadow, every day was filled with music, laughter, and the beautiful colors of friendship. Sammy, the chipping sparrow's call, was not just a song. It was a reminder that joy shared with friends creates magic in the world. The Little Puffin's Beak. Once upon a time, on a windy cliff by the sparkling sea, a little puffin named Poppy hatched from her egg. But oh, Poppy's beak was very tiny and different from all the other puffins. While her friends had big, bright orange beaks, Poppy's was small and colorful like a rainbow. She wondered if she could ever play and fly like them with such a funny little beak. Poppy tried to catch fish like the others, but her tiny beak made it tricky. She felt a little sad and sat on the edge of the cliff. Suddenly, a friendly seagull swooped down and said, "Your beak is special, Poppy. You can do things we cannot." Poppy blinked in surprise. Could her little beak really be special? With a big puffin smile, Poppy tried again. This time, she picked up tiny seashells and helped a little crab stuck under a pebble. Her small beak was perfect for gentle, careful jobs. Her puffin friends clapped their wings and cheered, happy to see Poppy's bright smile and clever ways. That day, Poppy learned something wonderful. Being different made her special and helped others in ways big beaks could not. She flapped her little wings with pride, ready for new adventures. And from that moment on, Poppy's tiny, colorful beak was the happiest beak on the whole windy cliff by the sea. The brave little flamingos stand. Once upon a time in a bright, sunny lagoon, there lived a little flamingo named Fifi. Fifi was not just any flamingo, she was the bravest of them all. Every day, she danced and played with her friends, a friendly turtle named Tilly, a shiny fish named Finn, and a colorful butterfly named Bella. They loved splashing in the water and sharing yummy snacks. But one day, something unexpected happened. A big, mischievous pelican named Pete flew over the lagoon. He had a huge beak and a sneaky smile. "Look at all that food," he squawked. "I'll take it all." With a swoosh of his wings, he tried to grab the tasty snacks that Fifi and her friends had gathered. Fifi felt her heart race. "Oh no, we can't let him take our food," she exclaimed. Fifi took a deep breath and flapped her wings. "We have to stand together," she declared. With her heart full of courage, she waddled up to Pete. "Excuse me, Mr. Pelican, you can't take our food. It belongs to us," she said bravely. Her friends cheered her on, shouting, "Go, Fifi, you can do it." Pete the pelican was surprised. He had never met a flamingo who stood up to him before. "Oh, all right," he said, backing away. "I didn't mean to upset you. I'll find my own snacks." Fifi smiled and said, "Thank you, Pete. We all deserve to share and enjoy our food together." From that day on, Fifi became a hero in the lagoon. Everyone admired her bravery and kindness. They learned that even the smallest flamingo can make a big difference. And so, Fifi, Tilly, Finn, and Bella danced and played happily ever after, knowing that together, they could stand up for one another. The Green Expedition of Gracie and Greg. One sunny morning in the greenest forest, Gracie the frog woke up with a big smile. "Today is the day for an adventure," she croaked excitedly. She hopped around her lily pad, splashing water everywhere. Just then, Greg the snail peeked out from his cozy shell. "What adventure, Gracie?" he asked with wide eyes. "Let's explore the magical green forest," Gracie said, waving her tiny webbed feet. Greg smiled, feeling brave. Off they went, ready to discover new things. As they ventured deeper into the forest, they found tall trees swaying gently in the breeze. "Look at those giant mushrooms," Gracie exclaimed, pointing with her little foot. Greg slowly crawled closer, amazed at the colors. Suddenly, a friendly bluebird flew by. "Hello there, are you on an expedition?" she chirped. "Yes," they both shouted. The bluebird flapped her wings and said, "Follow me, I know a secret spot." The bluebird led Gracie and Greg to a hidden glade filled with sparkling flowers and dancing fireflies. "Wow, it's so beautiful," gasped Gracie, her eyes sparkling. Greg looked around, his shell glistening in the sunlight. "This is amazing," he said, sliding over to a bright flower. They twirled and danced, feeling the magic of the forest. "Let's play tag among the flowers," Gracie suggested, and off they went, laughing and having fun. After a fun day of playing, Gracie and Greg sat down to rest. "This was the best adventure ever," Gracie said, her heart full of happiness. Greg nodded, his eyes shining. "I couldn't have done it without you, Gracie," he said. Gracie smiled, knowing that together they could explore anything. As the sun began to set, they promised to have more adventures in the green forest, side by side, forever friends. One Little Kitten's Big Adventure. One sunny morning, Momo the little kitten woke up feeling extra curious. She stretched her tiny paws and decided today was the perfect day for an adventure. Outside her cozy home was a big, colorful garden filled with fluttering butterflies and buzzing bees. Momo tiptoed quietly to the wooden fence and peeked through the slats. "I wonder what fun surprises are waiting for me out there," she thought, her whiskers twitching with excitement. With a little wiggle and a hop, Momo squeezed through a small gap in the fence and landed softly on the green grass. The garden was even more magical up close. She saw a tiny ladybug waving its red wings and a bumblebee humming happily near a bright yellow flower. Momo decided to say hello. "Hello, friends," she purred. The ladybug smiled and invited Momo to follow her along a winding path of colorful petals. As Momo followed the petal path, she heard cheerful chirping above. Looking up, she spotted a playful bluebird hopping from branch to branch. "Would you like to play with me?" chirped the bird. Momo nodded eagerly, and soon they were playing a gentle game of tag among the leaves and blossoms. Momo felt her heart dance with joy, making new friends in this wonderful garden world. Suddenly, Momo spotted a sparkling pond shimmering in the sunlight. Curious, she padded over and saw her reflection smiling back. Nearby, a shy snail was slowly sliding across a smooth stone. "Would you like to join me for a little rest by the water?" Momo asked gently. The snail nodded, and they sat side by side, watching dragonflies dance above the pond's surface. Momo realized that adventures are even better when shared with friends. As the sun began to set, painting the sky with pink and orange hues, Momo knew it was time to head home. She thanked her new friends with a happy purr and promised to visit again soon. Squeezing back through the fence, Momo felt proud of her big adventure. She curled up in her cozy bed, dreaming of all the wonderful friends and magical moments she had found just outside her door. The brave little fireflies glow. Deep in the heart of the forest, where the trees whispered secrets and the moon peeked through the leaves, lived a tiny firefly named Flicker. Flicker was smaller than all the other fireflies, and his glow was the faintest you could imagine. Sometimes, Flicker felt a little sad because he thought his light was too tiny to help anyone. But Flicker was curious and kind, always fluttering around with a hopeful heart. One quiet night, a sudden mist rolled in, covering the forest floor like a fluffy blanket. The animals who lived there began to feel lost and a little scared. The wise old owl hooted, trying to find his way, while the playful rabbit hopped nervously. Flicker saw the worry in their eyes and knew he wanted to help, even if his glow was small. Gathering all his courage, Flicker fluttered ahead, his gentle light glowing steadily in the dark mist. Step by step, he led the animals through the forest, lighting the way with his brave little glow. The animals smiled and followed closely, feeling safe and happy. Flicker realized that even the smallest light can brighten the darkest path when you are brave and kind. When the mist lifted and the stars twinkled brightly again, the animals gathered around Flicker to thank him. The little firefly beamed with pride, his glow shining just a bit brighter than before. From that night on, Flicker knew that being small didn't mean you couldn't make a big difference. And every evening, his brave little glow would shine warmly, reminding everyone that courage and kindness light up the world. The happy Dickcissels chirp. In a sunny meadow, where wildflowers danced in the breeze, lived Dilly the Dickcissel. Dilly was a little bird with a soft yellow belly and a happy chirp that sounded like sunshine. Every morning, he perched on his favorite branch and sang songs that made the flowers smile and the butterflies sway. His chirp was so joyful that even the sleepy bumblebees woke up to listen. Dilly loved to sing because it made his heart feel light and his friends feel happy. One day, as Dilly chirped his favorite tune, he noticed a little ladybug crawling slowly on a leaf. "Hello, Lady Leela," Dilly chirped. "Would you like to sing with me?" Lady Leela smiled shyly and nodded. Together, their sounds blended like a gentle breeze and a soft raindrop. Soon, a curious rabbit hopped over, and a buzzing bumblebee joined in. The meadow was alive with music, and everyone's smiles grew bigger and brighter because Dilly's happy chirp had made a new song for all to share. As the sun began to set, painting the sky with pink and orange, Dilly chirped one last happy song. His melody floated over the meadow like a warm hug, reminding everyone that sharing happiness makes the world brighter. Lady Leela, the rabbit, the bumblebee, and all the flowers whispered, "Thank you, Dilly." And with a soft yawn, Dilly snuggled into his cozy nest, dreaming of tomorrow's new songs and smiles. The happy chirp of the little Dickcissel had filled the meadow with joy once again. Eight Little Frogs' Big Leap. Once upon a time, in a sunny pond, there lived 8 little frogs. They loved to hop, play, and splash in the water. One bright morning, they gathered on a big lily pad, their eyes sparkling with excitement. "Let's make today special," said Freddie, the greenest frog of all. "Let's have a big leap contest." The other frogs cheered, their voices croaking happily in agreement. Each frog took turns practicing their jumps. Benny, the bouncy frog, leaped high into the air and landed with a big splash. Clara, the clever frog, counted 1, 2, 3, jump as she soared gracefully over the pond. Laughter filled the air as they watched their friends leap and splash. "Let's cheer for each other," croaked Lily, the smallest frog, clapping her tiny hands. Finally, it was time for the big leap. All 8 frogs lined up, their hearts racing with excitement. "On the count of 3, shouted Freddie. 1, 2, 3, jump." They leaped together, soaring through the bright blue sky. For a moment, they felt like they could fly. And then, with a splash, they landed back on the lily pad, giggling and croaking with joy. With smiles and laughter, the 8 little frogs celebrated their amazing leap. "We did it together," croaked Benny. From that day on, they knew they could achieve anything if they worked as a team. As the sun set, they hopped home, dreaming of their next big adventure. And so, the 8 little frogs lived happily, always ready for the next leap. The brave little Saltmarsh Sparrow's Plume. In the heart of the Saltmarsh lived a tiny sparrow named Ja. She was small but full of curiosity. Every morning, Ja sang her sweet songs and dreamed of big adventures beyond the tall grasses and shimmering waters. Though she was little, her spirit was large, and she loved to explore the soft mud and flutter among the reeds with her friends. One day, dark clouds gathered quickly above the Saltmarsh. The wind picked up, and the water began to ripple and roar. Ja's friends hurried to find shelter, but the little sparrow noticed a shimmering plume caught in a bush. It sparkled with magical colors, glowing softly even under the cloudy sky. Curious and brave, Ja gently picked up the plume, feeling a warm, happy glow inside her heart. With the magical plume in her feathers, Ja felt braver than ever. She flew through the stormy marsh, helping her friends find safe spots. She guided a little frog to a cozy leaf and showed a crab how to hide beneath a rock. The plume sparkled with every flap of her wings, lighting the way and filling the Saltmarsh with hope. When the storm finally passed, the Saltmarsh was calm and bright again. Ja's friends cheered for their brave little sparrow. She smiled, proud of her new courage and the magic plume. From that day on, Ja knew that even the smallest bird could shine brightly and help others, just by being brave and kind. The happy octopus's tentacles. Deep beneath the sparkling waves lived Ollie, the happy octopus. Ollie had 8 long, wiggly tentacles that he loved to use every day. Sometimes he would tickle the fish, sometimes he would twirl like a spinning top, and sometimes he would give the crabs a gentle hug. Ollie's tentacles were not just for swimming. They were for playing, sharing, and making new friends in the big, bright ocean. One sunny morning, Ollie found a shiny, red shell stuck between some rocks. With all 8 tentacles working together, he carefully pulled it free. The little crab inside was so happy that it danced with joy. Ollie's heart felt warm and full because he used his tentacles to help a friend. Then, he twirled around, making bubbles rise up like a bubbly rainbow in the sea. Later that day, Ollie met a shy seahorse who wanted to learn how to dance. Ollie showed him how to move his tentacles in swirls and waves, and soon they were both dancing together, spinning and twirling through the water. All the sea creatures gathered around, clapping their fins and cheering. Ollie's tentacles were the happiest when they were making others smile. The little scissor-tailed flycatcher's tale. In a sunny meadow filled with colorful flowers and buzzing bees, lived a little scissor-tailed flycatcher named Tilly. She was special because her tail was long and split like a pair of scissors. Every time she flew, her tail made a swoosh-swish sound that made her friends giggle with delight. Tilly loved flying high and dipping low, swirling through the sky like a dancer with her beautiful tail shining in the sunlight. One day, while Tilly was fluttering near the big oak tree, she noticed her tail made a funny noise when she twirled fast. Curious, she tried spinning and swirling more, and suddenly, her tail whooshed so loudly that it made the leaves dance and the flowers sway. Tilly's eyes sparkled with surprise. Could her tail be magical? She decided to find out by practicing her special tail moves every day. As Tilly played with her tail's magic, she found she could help her friends too. When the little bunny was stuck in a bush, Tilly swooshed her tail gently to clear the twigs away. When the butterflies wanted to dance but the wind was too soft, Tilly's tail made the breeze just perfect for their fluttery ballet. Everyone cheered and hugged Tilly, happy for her kind and magical tail. One evening, as the sun began to set and painted the sky with orange and pink, Tilly perched on her favorite branch feeling proud and happy. Her tail wasn't just pretty, it was special and useful too. She realized that being different made her unique and that her tail's magic came from her heart. With a joyful chirp, Tilly spread her wings, ready for new adventures and more magical moments. The friendly koala's hug. In the heart of a sunny eucalyptus forest lived Coco, the friendliest koala you could ever meet. Every morning, Coco climbed down from his cozy tree to greet his friends with the warmest hugs. His soft, fluffy arms made everyone feel safe and happy. The birds chirped joyfully, and the kangaroos bounced excitedly whenever Coco gave a hug. The forest was full of smiles because hugs from Coco were special magic. One sunny day, Coco noticed a little possum sitting all alone under a tall tree. She looked shy and a bit sad. Coco gently walked over and asked, "Would you like a hug?" The little possum nodded quietly. When Coco wrapped her in a soft koala hug, her tiny face lit up with a big smile. The hug made her feel brave and warm inside. From that moment, the possum knew she had a friend she could always count on. Feeling brave and happy, the little possum joined Coco on a cheerful adventure through the forest. They played hide and seek behind the trees, watched colorful birds sing, and even shared juicy eucalyptus leaves. Everywhere they went, Coco's hugs made new friends smile too. The forest felt like the happiest place in the world, all because of one friendly koala and his magical hugs.